You don't need to be a financial genius to build wealth. What you truly need is clarity. The clarity to see through noise, reject hype, and follow principles that have quietly built fortunes for decades. While the masses chase trends, the wealthy simplify their approach, act consistently, and let time compound their efforts. They don't seek excitement, they seek freedom. True wealth isn't about having more, it's about needing less and owning control. And that journey begins not with better tools or tactics, but with a better way of thinking. It's time to explore the proven strategy that outperforms the market. True wealth isn't built on intelligence, but on a fundamentally different mindset. Successful investors don't outsmart the market, they outthink it. While the majority react emotionally, they respond strategically. They don't chase price movements, they seek long-term value. Instead of asking, what's the price today? They ask, can this grow over 10 years? Their thinking isn't focused on volatility, but on compounding. This is what sets them apart. The real game isn't played in the charts, it's played in the mind. And in that game, mental clarity beats technical brilliance every time. The shift begins when you stop reacting and start thinking. Market psychology is the battlefield, and emotion is the enemy. When the market rises, greed clouds logic. When it falls, fear destroys discipline. But successful investors don't follow feelings, they follow principles. They remain steady while others swing. They act from conviction, not reaction. They don't mirror headlines, they mirror long-term vision. Emotional stability becomes their edge, an invisible shield in the chaos of financial storms. It's not about avoiding risk, but managing your behavior amid uncertainty. The strongest portfolios aren't just diversified in assets, they're anchored in mindset. Calm is not weakness, calm is control, and control compounds over time. In investing, you don't need to win every trade. You just need to avoid self-destruction. Master your emotions, and you master your wealth. Long-term thinking, emotional discipline, and systematic action form the foundation of financial strength. In a world flooded with noise, only those with clarity can see opportunity through the fog. The real question isn't what's happening today, but what direction am I anchored to? Wealth doesn't reward the frantic. It rewards the focused, and that focus is born from the ability to stand still when everyone else is sprinting nowhere. In the world of investing, complexity is often mistaken for intelligence. But in truth, the simpler the strategy, the more effective it becomes. Wealthy individuals don't chase complex charts or hide behind jargon. They stick to the basics, understand the business, hold it long-term, and let time do the work. They trust in principles, not gimmicks. Simplicity strips away distractions and focuses on what truly matters, value and time. The market rewards clarity, not cleverness. If your approach can't be explained in one sentence, it's probably built to fail. Simplicity isn't basic. It's brilliant when executed with consistency. Many people believe that building wealth requires complexity, hidden formulas, or secret tactics. But those who succeed think differently. They cut through noise and avoid unnecessary risks. They don't chase the next hot stock or cryptocurrency wave. Instead, they choose businesses they understand, apply fundamental logic, and stick to timeless rules. What looks boring on the surface often proves powerful in the long run. True strength comes not from speed, but from direction. Simplicity doesn't mean doing less. It means doing only what works. In investing, complexity creates confusion. Simplicity creates results. That's why the best strategies are often the most boring. The question isn't what's new, it's what's proven and sustainable. A simple action repeated with discipline becomes a wealth-building system. Those who succeed aren't trying to outsmart the market every day. They're aligning with it over decades. Fewer moves, but smarter ones. Less noise, more clarity. Simplifying doesn't mean ignoring information. It means filtering what matters and discarding what doesn't. Mastery is not about doing everything. It's about doing the right thing consistently. In investing, simplicity isn't a sign of ignorance. It's the result of deep understanding. Less, done right, lasts longer. Many people believe that building wealth requires complexity, hidden formulas, or secret tactics. But those who succeed think differently. They cut through noise and avoid unnecessary risks. They don't chase the next hot stock or cryptocurrency wave. Instead, they choose businesses they understand, apply fundamental logic, and stick to timeless rules. What looks boring on the surface often proves powerful in the long run. True strength comes not from speed, but from direction. Simplicity doesn't mean doing less. It means doing only what works. In investing, complexity creates confusion. Simplicity creates results. That's why the best strategies are often the most boring. The question isn't what's new, it's what's proven and sustainable. A simple action repeated with discipline becomes a wealth-building system. Those who succeed aren't trying to outsmart the market every day. They're aligning with it over decades. Fewer moves, but smarter ones. Less noise, more clarity. Simplifying doesn't mean ignoring information. It means filtering what matters and discarding what doesn't. Mastery is not about doing everything. It's about doing the right thing consistently. In investing, simplicity isn't a sign of ignorance. It's the result of deep understanding. Less, done right, lasts longer. Markets fluctuate, but assets only grow when you let time do the work. Wealthy individuals know compound interest isn't for the impatient. Long-term investing isn't flashy, fast, or dramatic, but it's the only path that transforms small, consistent capital into lasting freedom. While the majority look for quick wins, true winners build brick by brick. They don't chase trends, they trust time. Every moment they hold is another layer added to their financial fortress. Patience isn't delay, it's strategy. And the most profitable strategy is often the one no one's willing to wait for. Markets always move through cycles: growth, crisis, recovery. But it's during crises that the greatest opportunities appear. Wealthy investors don't panic when markets crash. They prepare to act. While most people sell in fear, they buy quality assets at discounted prices. The difference doesn't come from predicting the future. It comes from knowing how to respond when uncertainty strikes. Chaos exposes weakness, but also creates space for bold, strategic moves. Those who remain calm during volatility often capture long-term gains. Investing success doesn't depend on avoiding chaos, but on seeing clearly and acting wisely within it. The average investor sees red markets as a danger sign. The wealthy see them as green lights. Where others see panic, they see pricing advantages. They understand that when fear takes over, value is often ignored, and that's when opportunity appears. They don't base decisions on fear or excitement. They rely on a clear strategy. They study fundamentals while others obsess over headlines. What seems like risk to the crowd is seen as value to the disciplined. Chaos to them isn't a threat. It's a temporary misalignment between perception and reality, and a chance to buy the future at a discount. If you only invest when everything feels safe, you'll always pay a premium. Those who move against the crowd don't seek danger. They seek clarity beyond fear. Markets reward the ones who are prepared when others are paralyzed. Every downturn is a psychological test. Those who stay grounded while others spiral gain long-term advantage. No storm lasts forever, but those who exit too soon miss the clearing sky. Wealth isn't created by reacting to fear, it's created by outlasting it. True investors don't run from chaos. They recognize that discomfort often hides the greatest financial breakthroughs. In investing, the crowd rarely builds wealth. The crowd chases trends, reacts emotionally, and repeats cycles of fear and greed. Those who succeed don't ask, "What is everyone doing?" They ask, "What is truly right in the long term?" They don't invest to be popular, they invest to be precise. Independent thinking isn't about being contrarian for attention, it's about aligning with truth instead of noise. In a world obsessed with validation, thinking clearly is rare. Those who can resist the herd unlock a power far more valuable than timing: clarity. And clarity is where transformation begins. Many fail not from lack of opportunity, but from overdependence on other people's opinions. They follow popular advice, chase fads, and fear missing out. But true wealth only comes when you dare to ask different questions. Successful investors don't fear standing alone, they fear copying blindly. They challenge assumptions, question trends, and take full responsibility for their decisions. Independence isn't arrogance. It's the discipline to think for yourself in a world that rewards conformity. When you analyze, decide, and act based on your principles, not pressure, you break free from the invisible trap of average. Markets are filled with noise, rumors, hype, panic, and social chatter. But real wealth belongs to those who filter the signal from the static. Independent thinking isn't just about strategy, it's about freedom. When you're no longer swayed by hype, fear, or groupthink, you gain your sharpest tool, the ability to act with conviction. The goal isn't to be different for the sake of it. The goal is to think better, deeper, and more clearly. The crowd often runs toward what's popular. The wise walk calmly toward what's true. That's how freedom and wealth are earned. Wealth doesn't come from one big swing. It's built from thousands of small, right actions done consistently over time. Successful investors don't wait for life-changing opportunities. They build compounding systems through habit. Every automated investment, every financial report read, every disciplined saving choice is another brick in their foundation. They don't need massive wins, they need consistent progress. 1% better each day isn't just a cliche. It's a wealth-building reality. While others seek miracles, the wealthy rely on method. They don't chase luck, they trust repetition. Small steps taken daily add up to freedom you can't buy overnight. In a fast, chaotic world, sustainable habits are an anchor. Average people act when they feel motivated. Exceptional people act until it becomes identity. They know effectiveness comes not from emotion, but from repetition. Reading 10 pages daily, tracking expenses weekly, or saying no to impulse buys. These aren't minor actions. They're the foundation of financial transformation. What's ordinary to others becomes extraordinary when done with intention. You don't need to overhaul your life in one weekend. You need to design tiny behaviors that repeat themselves until they replace chaos with clarity. Habits aren't backup plans, they are the blueprint. Never underestimate the power of doing one thing right, consistently. A single good habit can shift your mindset. That mindset shapes your behavior, and repeated behavior reshapes your entire financial reality. The wealthy aren't obsessed with excitement, they're obsessed with systems. They don't need fireworks, they need patterns that quietly produce results. Greatness isn't built from grand gestures, it's built from quiet commitment. Every time you invest, learn, or resist distraction, you're planting seeds. And in time, those seeds grow into an unshakable financial forest. You don't need to be extraordinary, you just need to be consistent. Fake asset number 6. Expensive technology that quickly becomes obsolete. The excitement of unboxing a brand new phone or premium gadget is hard to resist, but that thrill fades fast when a newer model launches just months later. This cycle is no accident. It's engineered obsolescence. You don't upgrade because you need to. You upgrade because you're told you're falling behind. Most devices still work perfectly, but clever marketing and peer pressure convince you otherwise. Instead of making your life better, technology becomes a money pit. It's not the tool that's the problem. It's how often you let it dictate your spending. Constant upgrades are silent financial leaks. The mistake isn't buying tech, it's assigning it value it doesn't deserve. Many stretch budgets or use high-interest financing for flashy gadgets not because they need them, but because they crave status. And while the device depreciates daily, the payments keep coming. What you think is innovation is often ego. Worse, these items have poor resale value, especially once new versions hit the shelves. You're not building capability, you're renting digital clout at a premium. When technology becomes a way to impress instead of a way to produce, you've turned tools into traps. The cost is real and recurring. To escape the tech trap, shift your mindset from consumption to intention. Use your devices until they genuinely no longer serve your needs, not until you feel outdated. Consider refurbished models. Sell old devices before their value vanishes. Let technology serve your growth, not steal from it. True wealth builders see gadgets as means, not milestones. If your tech isn't helping you create income or increase efficiency, it's a luxury, not an asset. Don't chase the future blindly. Make the present work for you. Upgrade your thinking before you upgrade your phone. That's where financial power begins. Real wealth doesn't come from flipping investments. It comes from owning assets that grow and generate value. Successful investors don't treat stocks like lottery tickets, they treat them like ownership in real businesses. Every investment is a stake in future potential. It's not about betting, it's about building. When you own wisely, time works for you. You don't chase profits, you collect them. The goal isn't movement, it's ownership. Wealth doesn't reward activity. It rewards clarity, patience, and commitment. Those who own quality assets and let them mature often outperform those who chase every shiny opportunity. When you truly own something valuable, you don't need to constantly do more. The business works, the market moves, and time compounds returns. Real ownership is built on understanding and belief in long-term value. You can't expect fruit if you keep uprooting the tree. Holding quality assets through time is a sign of mastery, not laziness. Those who succeed don't need to micromanage, they need to trust their foundation. The wealthiest don't own more, they own better. Ownership isn't about motion, it's about alignment with enduring value. Ownership isn't just about equity, it's about freedom. When you own productive assets, you own streams of income, innovation, and long-term growth. From stocks to real estate to your own business, wealth is built through assets that work, even while you sleep. True investors don't chase every wave. They ride compounding tides that build over time. Don't be fooled by movement. Sometimes the strongest action is to hold. Ownership is quiet power. And those who understand it never ask, "What's next?" They ask, "How can I protect what already works?" Patience doesn't get headlines, but it builds empires. Wealthy individuals know that time is their greatest ally, if they let it work. When markets drop, they don't retreat, they hold. When others panic, they stay. Patience isn't waiting for the perfect moment. It's the decision to trust the process even when results are invisible. True investing isn't about reacting quickly. It's about enduring wisely. Most people lose not from poor choices, but from quitting too soon. The patient don't need to chase, they compound. And over time, what seems slow becomes unstoppable momentum. Assets don't grow in noise, they grow in silence. Sustainable wealth isn't built in bursts, it's built in seasons. You don't need to monitor your investments every hour. You need to leave them alone long enough to thrive. Impatient investors demand constant feedback. Disciplined ones give time the space to work. Each year of holding magnifies returns. Every cycle endured adds resilience. Compounding doesn't reward intensity, it rewards consistency. Those who sit still when others are running blind often arrive farther ahead. In wealth building, it's not who starts fast, it's who stays longest. In a world addicted to speed, patience is rare and powerful. It's not laziness, it's precision. You don't need to do more. You need to do what works and keep doing it. The best investors don't flinch when markets shake. They trust the foundation they built. Money grows in stillness. And when you learn to hold during noise, you gain an advantage few can match. Patience won't make you famous, but it will make you free. Because behind every quiet fortune is someone who waited when everyone else rushed. Many start their financial journey chasing big numbers, but the deeper they go, the more they realize. Real success isn't about how much money you have, it's about how much control you've earned. Money is a tool, not a trophy. Freedom is the ultimate goal. Freedom from jobs you hate, freedom to spend time with people you love, freedom to live on your terms. True wealth means needing less and choosing more. It's not about impressing others. It's about designing a life that feels good on the inside, not just looks good on the outside. The poor use money to spend. The wealthy use money to buy back time and peace. They don't need luxury to prove value. They need autonomy to live with purpose. They don't chase social standards, they set personal ones. Freedom is waking up without an alarm because you choose your day. It's working on what excites you, not what pays the rent. It's doing meaningful work without financial fear. Riches without freedom are just golden chains. But freedom, real, unshakable freedom, is what turns wealth into a life worth living. If freedom is the goal, the strategy must be ownership, accumulation, and consistency. You don't need everything. You need enough to live fully on your terms. Wealth isn't about choosing between finances and happiness, it's about having both. This journey isn't for the impatient, but for those who understand the destination, every step matters. You don't invest to show off, you invest to show up for your future, your family, your truth. The end goal isn't money in the bank. It's peace in your soul. Wealth isn't the destination, it's the outcome of a deliberate mindset. You don't need hacks or luck. You need clarity, discipline, and patience. From emotional control to simplicity, from long-term ownership to small daily habits, the path to financial freedom is paved by principles, not predictions. True success lies not in chasing money, but in buying back your life. It's not about speed, It's about direction. When you align your thoughts, actions, and time with enduring values, money becomes a servant, not a master. This isn't theory, it's strategy. And this strategy doesn't just build wealth, it builds choice, it builds freedom. And that freedom, that quiet, powerful freedom, is what makes every step worthwhile.